Hello friends, welcome to my channel WKN UK. My name is Wasim. I'm the CEO and Managing Director of Productiva Group. We are an executive search firm. We started 15 years back in Bangalore. Today we are headquartered in London with an office in US and Dubai. Our global delivery center is in Bangalore. So today let's talk about some open roles which we have with our clients. And if you find it suitable, if you find it matching, let this holiday time not go waste. Please feel free to write to us. I will have one of my executive get in touch with you. We work in three major geographies. One is US geography, second is Europe, and UK and Europe put together, and the last is Asia Pacific. So most of the time we get roles from Japan, Australia, and Asian countries. We do very little work in India, to be honest. UK and Europe, all over. You name a country, we have done work there. And same goes to US and Canada. We do a lot of work. Almost 60% of our revenue comes from US and Canada. Almost 25% comes from Europe, and the rest is rest of the world. So let's talk about few roles. I won't be able to name the client because that's how confidential it is. So let me talk about first client, which is close to 2 billion in revenues. It's a global system integrator, a 35-year-old organization. And they are very specialized in IT services. They do, a lot of work, whatever any, a global system integrator does, like any large company does. So 2 billion is a 2 billion, very large organization. It's been invested by one of a, biggest private fund, which also owns a couple of large firms. So it's a big company, good size company. They have about 35,000 people in 21 plus countries. And as I said, they are 35-year-old. They are listed in all major stock exchanges. So it's a good company to look out for IT services primarily. What they are looking for. So they have big clients in America like Fidelity, like Morgan Stanley, and like Charles Schwab. So multiple clients are there. So they are looking for client engagement managers, client partner we call it, or client engagement we call it. So client engagement manager typically varies from 10 to 15 years kind of experience range. Somebody who understand how to maximize, how to do cross sell, upsell into an account. So these are the three major accounts which I can talk about: Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab. So they are looking for a client engagement manager for these three accounts. Plus, we are looking for sales hunters for BFSI, and all these roles are mostly in East Coast. When I say East Coast, New York, New Jersey, even Georgia, some extent, and Philadelphia, so those areas. Good kind of a salary range, somewhere between 200 to 250k, depending on the experience and the performance of a person. So if you are managing any of these clients, specifically Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will be able to connect you and take you through the interview process. We'll brief you about the client. We'll give you more details. As such, in a summary, as I said, it's a 33-year-old organization with close to $2 billion in revenues and about 30 to 35,000 staff in 21 plus countries. So this is one client which I talked about. Let me summarize. We are looking for 3 client engagement managers. We are looking for multiple sales hunters, BFSI hunters. One more specific role about this client, I can say they are looking for global service delivery manager, a GDAL we call it, a global service delivery manager for their banking clients. It's a very important role, high role. We can go up to 250, 260, 270 as a base salary. There are some bonus incentives on top of it, of course. So if you are a global service delivery manager, please feel free to reach out to us. If you're a client engagement manager, please feel free to reach out to us. If you're a sales hunter in US markets, feel free to reach out to us. And not only for this role, but for any other role which I will talk about today in US or Europe, please understand we are looking for people who are locally based with local work authorization. What does it mean? It means somebody who is a US citizen, who is a green card holder, and who's feel free to work. We don't sponsor any visas. My client doesn't sponsor any visas. So we are looking for somebody who are based in US, who has been working there, a local market experience. So that's about the first client and first requirements. Now, second client I want to talk about is, they are close to $7 billion in revenues, very large global system integrator, and they have about 150,000 people in 90 plus countries, really large, and 40 plus years of pedigree. So it's a good client, and we have been working with them for 8 years or 9 years. And out of this 8-9 years, at least 7 years, we have been a number one vendor. Even the first client which I talked about, we have been a number one vendor for 7-8 years. So we are very closely associated with these clients. So the second client I talk about, let me talk very specific role. They are looking for, client partners and sales hunters in BPM, BPO, BPS space. So they do close to $2 billion in revenue in BPM, BPO space. So they are looking for a retail hunter. It means somebody who's focusing on retail domain, who has retail clients today, and they're looking for a sales hunter who can go after the retail prospects and close the business for them. Second area, they're looking for healthcare. In healthcare, there are two types of roles. One is the payer, another is the provider. Payer is like insurance companies in US, provider is like in a large hospitals. So somebody who can focus on a set of these two clients, but both comes under healthcare. So they are looking for sales hunter for payer, sales hunter for providers. So these are the three roles I can talk about the second client, and which is again ranging from 200 to 230, 240 plus incentives. Of course, as the revenue you achieve, you get more money. So two clients I talked about. First client I talked about 5-6 roles, 7 roles perhaps, and second client I specifically talk about 3 roles. I don't want to talk too many roles. I have quite a few roles actually in with the second client as well. Now let's talk about the third client. So this I want to talk about US and UK put together. So it's a rather comparatively little smaller client, very prestigious owners, listed companies again. So this client has about $500 million in revenue. They're about, you can see 25-30 million here and there. So $500 million in revenue, 20,000 plus staff in multiple countries. They have been there for 25 years. So it's not a new, fresh company. It's a very well-established firm with $500 million revenues. This particular client focuses only on BPO and BPM related services. Very prestigious firm. What are they looking for? So in London, as well as in East Coast or Midwest, they are looking for sales hunters, BPO services sales hunters, and 3 areas. They want somebody in healthcare, they want somebody in retail, and they want somebody in BPM. So you will say previous role and these roles are conflicting. Yes, it is conflicting, but we will see which profile suits to which particular client. Salary range again is almost same. So this third client is a $500 million, very good firm again. They need US base and London base, at least 2 hunters in all the 3 domains: banking, in healthcare, and retail. So any good sales hunters, please feel free to come to us. I believe, and I strongly believe, what is a sales hunter. So of course, if you're not understanding what is a sales hunter, then you're not the right profile. So that's about the third client. So we talked about first client, which has about $2 billion revenues. They are in 21 countries, about 35,000 resources, 33-year-old. They are looking for multiple people. They are looking for sales hunters. They are looking for client engagement manager. They are looking for a global service delivery manager for a banking for banking segment. Second client, we talked about BPM roles, which is in retail, healthcare, which is payer and provider, and banking. 3 types of hunters, pure play BPM hunters. Third client, we talked about a $500 million company, which is looking for people in London as well as in East Coast in US, and all hunters, retail, banking, and healthcare, all the 3 areas. Now, next client I want to talk about is a product-based company. So they have a SaaS-based product. It's a very well organized old company, 35 years young company, or old, whatever you call it. They have very large clients. They're into revenue management, invoice processing, multiple things too. The typically banking oriented product based company, 35-year-old, decent size, about 1,000 people, $100 million in revenue. They are looking for a sales hunter, They're looking for somebody who can manage entire Europe based out of London. So it's about 10 years to 15 years kind of experience level, and somebody who will report into head of Europe based out of India. Actually, very, very specific company. And the specialty about this company is, you name a country, top 3 banks will be their client. So they have a interest in all the top names in any country. So Europe, you go to name a country, you talk about Norway, the top bank is a client. Talk about India, all the top banks are their client. You talk about London, all the top 3 are their client. So they do revenue management, they do invoicing, they do VAT management, multiple things they offer in the banking side. Properly a SaaS based product company. So these are the roles I wanted to speak about. If any of you interested about this, please write it to explore, EXPLORE, at Productiva, PRODUCTIVA group, one word, productivagroup.com. I will write it in as a comment as well. So please feel free to reach out. Yes, it's a holiday time, but nothing stops you exploring something positive, and especially for the passive job seekers, I think this is the time you can spend for yourself. You can figure out what next. So this is where we are. I will write in comment section about the email ID and a little bit about job roles. So welcome to WKN UK. I'm here to help. I'm here to assist. I have my vice president for US, VP for Europe and UK, and VP for Asia Pacific. These people will assign somebody. They will get into a call with you, take your details, talk about the clients, and then let's see how it goes. Maybe we are here. The next new year, 2026, can bring more brightness to you. So wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a very good Happy New Year 2026. Thank you.